In this video, we will be performing a linear regression using a TI-83 Plus on the following set of data. I recommend that you pause the video and copy this data down and follow the steps as I go through them on the TI-83. While this video will be representing the TI-83 Plus, please be aware that most of the steps will work for a TI-84 as well, although some of the screens may look different depending on your version of the calculator. We'll begin by pressing the Stat button, which is next to the arrows on the left. From here, we are going to edit our list, so you can either press 1 or Enter. My calculator had a whole bunch of data in the first list, so I want to get rid of that. In order to do so, I will press Up first, then I will press Clear, and finally I will press Enter. Once I do those steps, my list is cleared. If you have more lists with data in them, you can repeat those steps on those lists to clear the data as well. Now take a moment and insert all the X values in the first list. I've already done so here. Then enter all the Y values into the second list. Once you have done that, we can quit this screen by pressing Second Mode. This should take you back to your home screen. From here, we will press the Y equals button right above the second key. We're going to take a look at the plot of this data. In order to do so, we need to turn the plots on. Notice that you have 3 plots up above your Y equals statements. Make sure that nothing else is typed into the Y equals statements, and what we're going to do is highlight that first plot. Once we have it highlighted, we tap Enter to turn the plot on. You can see if I move the cursor back down that the plot 1 remains highlighted. To verify that the plot is set up as I want it to be set up, I'm going to use the second Y equals key to open up the stat plot. In the stat plots, we should see that the first plot is on, and that the lists used are L1 and L2. From here, press the window key, which is right next to the Y equals key. Your window settings are probably different from mine, but what we want to do is set this up so that we can see all of our data. So go back and look at those points and determine what is the smallest X value, the smallest Y value, and the largest X value and the largest Y value. Here are the values which I chose for my X-min, X-max, Y-min, and Y-max. Feel free to use these values or ones of your own choosing. Once I have typed these values in, I will press Graph, which is on the far right of the calculator. Your graph should look something like this. Notice that from the graph we can immediately deduce that this scatter plot has a negative correlation. It is very easy to visually draw a line that has a negative slope through that data. Press your Stat key to reopen this menu. We're going to perform an actual linear regression and find out exactly what is the best line to draw through those data points. To do so, tap right to open up the Calculate menu. Identify the Linear Regression or the Linear Regression key. It's number 4 on the list that I have open here. You can either press 4 or scroll down and press Enter when you have highlighted the Linear Regression function. Depending on the version of your calculator, you will either see this screen or a slightly more advanced menu. In either case, you'll be pressing Enter at this point. You should see something similar to what I have on my screen. You may see a couple of other values, like an R and an R squared. We want those values. Since my screen doesn't currently show it, I'm going to show you how we turn the diagnostic on in order to reveal the R squared values. First, you press the second key and then you press the 0 key to open up the mathematical catalog. We are looking for the diagnostic on function, so make sure that your alpha key has been pressed. You should see a capital A on your screen, and then you're going to press the X inverse function, which is the letter D on your keypad. This should take you straight to the letter D's in the alphabet of the catalog. Scroll down until you find the function called Diagnostic On. Once you have found that function, press Enter. This will take you back to the home screen, where you will once again need to press Enter. Having done that, your diagnostics are now on. Let's repeat that statistical linear regression which we just did in order to get the additional R squared values. Once again, we press the Stat button to open up the statistics screen. Then we shift to the right to open up the calculation screen. Press 4 to turn on the linear regression. Once you're back on the home screen, press Enter to execute the linear regression. And now we see not only the values for the slope and the y-intercept, but also the r-squared values and the r value. The r value will tell you if it's a positive or negative correlation based upon the sign, and the r-squared value tells you how good of a fit it is. Generally speaking, the closer r-squared is to 1, the better the fit. In our example here, the fit is very good.